Okay, there we go. I'm so used to hitting. It's not for kids. All right, let's see. Checking out not my backside, my back. Making fun of someone. That's pretty good there. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty good for someone with my medical condition. I gotta say. I don't know, maybe I will take my walk today after viewing this. It gives, yeah, you just go, maybe I shouldn't stop being so lax with what I'm doing. Now I gotta upload this for display purposes. All right. So the latest news is someone's admitting it without admitting that they fell off the wagon and that he needs to get away from the people he was hanging around with. As much as they were probably being quote unquote good to him, but when if you're using people and right, and the next thing you know you're using with people, I mean, admit what you're doing. All right, let's see. I'll put. All right, so this is for shame purposes. What difference does it make if this is made for kids or not? Whatever. I know you just go, I thought I wasn't on the regular internet. Is not part of the terror. I know just some of the stuff is like. Polycystic liver disease, like a massive liver, polycystic kidney disease, 51 years old, 6 kids. I didn't even say twins. Okay, so. And no LAPA, is that what they call it? No LAPA. I haven't even been doing this, which, again, that's more of a, I gotta say, that is more of a wintertime activity for me. All this arm stuff. Right, it's summertime. So usually in the wintertime, you're carrying more because you're not using a cart because it's wintertime and you're walking in the snow. And presumably your diet is different probably because it's wintertime. Right, so anyways, I might take my walk and get my 4 pounds of unsalted peanuts and maybe some sun-dried figs. That's about it. I really don't need. We are going to need light cream, but that's a long walk to buy light cream. I'll have to do that tomorrow. Just, well, I don't know. At first I was like, maybe I'll wait till tomorrow to walk. It's already past 11. I know now. I'm just like, any opportunity. All right, so I'm going to watch my. Mean people don't have these things. That's why they're so mean. It's some sort of muscle. It might be from the new. It might. Well, plus it shows that you're not really like wickedly bloated up, which is always welcome. I don't think it's just one side, but the way that I am, it's possible that it's more on one side. I think it's just the lighting, and I don't have a tan. I don't know what that's called. Well, he was sort of arching his back too. Yeah, like my spine sort of like indents, which is probably part of bad posture. Who knows? Um, I don't think so. Like, yeah, like he has an issue, which obviously, if you're gonna be friends with someone, he just can't stop doing it, right? like I said, I don't think he's come to an acceptance yet that he's just going to be like a monk, which is probably upsetting. Like, say that he was not sober before and he was always fancy with the ladies. And then he kind of did like I did, where he was like, well, I'm going to get well and then I'm going to get a wife and stuff. Um, right. And then now he's finding out that he has all these issues that apparently he blamed on using before, probably, and busy with work and stuff. And yeah. It doesn't mean that those things weren't true, but that he has a dysfunction where when you're drinking and stuff, he was probably uncomfortable in the relationships he was in. He just keeps doing it over. He's definitely doing it on purpose. Like, oh, and then the flight attendant. I don't even know if he's necessarily intending to make you mad. It's just, right. Some people call that a sex offender, by the way. He may have actually been like afraid of those people's daughter for some reason. Like, I don't know if he has issues with pedophilia or what that is. So he's being purposely more aggressive so that she'll tell him to go away. Right. Not like he really wants to go with her or something. Right. So that's why he's doing that. That's why he's like, and this one is pretty. And right. It's just, I knew that that was weird. That's not normal men behavior. Yeah, because I've been around a lot of men. So you just, and I've met a lot of sex offenders. Right. They do weird stuff because they're afraid of you. They don't want to go out with you. Right. And so anyways. I'm sure some of them it can be upsetting. He might be at that point now because, right, like if he was never sober before with all this going on, right, like because they want, especially straight men, they want to have like a nurturing like figure in their life, like their mother. Like that's why men get married. In my opinion, straight men, as I explained it to you. But because he has like a quote unquote sexual dysfunction, he can't do it. Right. So, well, it's good when they meet people that sort of understand that. It doesn't mean he's going to hang out with me because he doesn't seem to really indicate he wants to hang out with me and he's way far away from where I am. But in his life, I'm sure there's probably thousands of other females that he could be friends with. You can be like, you can have a really close platonic friendship with a man as a woman that's completely platonic, but you have to like not be lying to yourself as a female. If you start having those things where you're going to change somebody and he's eventually going to marry you and stuff, don't bother men like that because you're going to end up messing them all up. Right. It's like if you're looking for a husband, then you need to look for men that actually have the capacity to go out with you. Anyways. Oh, that's right. I got to look up I'll look up muscles now. Let's see. I should put this on Tumblr. Hopefully he's not like that. That would be awful. Especially since he was in the Marines. Is that what he's saying? That would be awful if he's just like gets mad. Okay, so you're an adult man. I think you're the same age as me, so that doesn't count. Like if you were like 30, this would be even worse. You purposely lifted up your shirt on camera, like you're showing off. But yet it's just for bodybuilding or whatever purposes. Clearly, he's not interested in going out with like anyone. That wouldn't be appropriate even if he was gay. Neither thing is appropriate to be doing. It's just someone that maybe doesn't have enough recovery time. I guess you could say that. But like I said, I don't think you should be like waiting around for some guy to figure it all out. Right. If you're trying to just stay celibate yourself, I guess, but I don't really recommend waiting around for people to figure it all out. Right. Okay, so I put that on top of, oh, that's right, the muscles at the back. Let's see. And he broke the thing. I know, you just go, what's the matter with you? Like, I just had a thing. He'd be like, I don't even know what she's talking about. Okay. You're supposed to say Mar-a-Lago in every video. It was like a new thing I came up with. And as soon as I came up with it, you're purposely not doing it. Now it's a flight attendant is cute. Like, I'm gonna fly myself through the night and jump on top of you. You're like a scared girl. That is it. I am not having ice cream with anyone. And oh, there's someone hot, and like he doesn't get as gross as some dudes do, but he just go, oh my god, you're doing this again. All right, who is it that he asked out and the person said yes? Just forevermore, every time this X-ray man, John Duffins, is it? Every time he live streams to us, just like Aaron Carter, you go, okay, who is it? All right, well, I guess it's not really having to talk with you, it's just informing you of his syndrome. Okay, because you can't be doing any of that with him. He'll just get meaner and meaner and meaner and meaner and meaner until you stop. I mean, you've got someone, either Aaron Carter or he's pretending to be, who keeps trying to lure people to do that to them. You go, dude, maybe some people think John does that. I could see that with the things and everything, like he's doing it too. Well, I'm gonna give John this pass that I think that he actually wanted to have a relationship, but he's just way too dysfunctional. Right. And if he just fell off the wagon again, he did set himself back, but he needs to not really be thinking like that. Like, if he went, yeah, I got drunk at the casino and I've been doing whatever for since January, and now he's like getting away from that and he's going back to his mother or something, then that's good. That's a really good step where you're just forcing yourself to do it. Because he said something about getting on the plane and getting off the plane. It's like, yeah, just and get away from these people. Right. Because clearly, I got to say, it's not, I don't mean it like those people are unworthy of friendship. I don't mean that. But like, if a dude was sober and all of a sudden he's hanging around with you and he's starting to drink or use drugs and you're fronting it and you're paying for things, that's all he's doing. And he doesn't even mean it in a mean way. It's a sickness that people do. Right. Like Alex, where you go, look, um, I'm gonna get you your two naughty dotties. Okay, because I meant food, just so you know, when I said I have this much snap and this much cash. Like, we are like a new homeless friendship front. Okay, because clearly after last night in the dumpster, you're not interested in me sexually, and quite honestly, it wasn't really there for me either. So, not in any type of strong. Me and her, and you helped that out by talking about women's asses and stuff, so that works. I will get you two naughty dotties, okay? But, and I did, I go, you're turning me into an enabler and I don't like it. Basically, I will go get those two naughty dotties and then that's it. We're not hanging out anymore. I mean, I bought you cigarettes, I bought you socks. Cigarettes I shouldn't do, but it's like, it's not mind altering. And I'm clearly not doing it to try to rape you. You would have been better off hanging around with me, but you won't do that if I won't provide the naughty dotties like Allie does. Right. Because if I was gonna do that, I would. I'd just keep doing it, and I'd never expect you to do anything. But I'm not an enabler. Okay, so, and that's not what someone expects from a mommy. So here's your two naughty dotties, and right on cue, whoever that was, you're on the phone, here it comes, some disgusting dude who's disgusting on purpose, and then the two of you start talking wicked, disgusting shit to get rid of me. Okay, bye. You mission accomplished what you were trying to do. So, anyways, which is why he didn't come looking for me, because I was still in Quincy for some time after that. Right, and then the whole coming up to the alcove, I want to apologize. After I posted, it's too late to apologize on Facebook. Because clearly he was looking at Facebook. I saw him with the phone with Facebook open during that time period. That's when I was talking about him and Patrick, but not using their names. Anyways, so, right, I don't do that. Okay, so what am I doing? Oh, muscles at the back. Muscles up there. 11:21 already. I don't know how many hours I logged last night of sleep. I had some weird, I can't even remember them now, but I know I had a bunch of weird dreams. It don't make any sense, but I can't even remember even the context of it. I do that stuff too, just so you know, John, in terms of friendship. I do that stuff too, like you were doing in the live stream where you started getting like justifiable. I call it justifiably paranoid. It doesn't mean you're wrong either. That's not what I mean. Right. And you just go, because people are that sick. They're definitely doing weird stuff like that. It's like a deranged country. It probably some sort of containment, but I told you sometimes when they get like that, they're about to completely flip out. Did he used to get in yelling fights with people online at all? Like he was on the phone? They're trying to probably do that. They're probably like meth heads. Uh, oh my God. When I was in Roswell, this all of a sudden this like Mexican guy comes over and starts like screaming at Rock Hudson. You're just like, that was bizarre. That was bizarre. Like, it was definitely time for me to get out of there because these people are wackos. It was like that was worse than that Pat guy. I know you just go, I don't even know who that dude is. No, I don't even know who that dude. Just I don't know, just that's a scary place to be. Yeah, just um between that guy and that Pat guy, you go, I don't even know you people. What the fuck is your problem? Like, what was he doing that the guy got that mad? I think aside from that, some sort of spice or something he was smoking. It was like those wicked, disgusting smelling cigars. Anyways, that was like wacko. That was not necessary for some guy to come over and start screaming at him. He was just sitting next to me on a bench talking to me. Yeah, that was like weird. Like, he didn't do anything in terms of like being too aggressive or attacking me or anything. It's just he did that thing like John does. But you think I'm cute. Okay, so you're clearly doing this on purpose. Because then I know, and then you're talking about you just broke up with your girlfriend and she's married and her husband beats her and you're gonna beat up her husband. It's like, all right, I guess. And then you're smoking the things that smell disgusting. Like, really, you're safe. You are 100% safe. Like, even if I was into you like that, I'm not going to jump on you in night one. I would have already done that when you were on the curb and I was on the bench. Just the second I don't hear zip, or you're starting to get tired, I'd just be on you. Alien. Ah. All right, so let's see muscles in the back. That trick works every time. Where I pretend I'm an innocent doe out in the middle of Roswell alone and wait for some unsuspecting dude with his guitar, and then I pretend I'm sleeping. And as soon as he starts to doze off, there probably are people that do that, but it's not me. Just, I'd be in prison for murder or attempted murder, so that's probably why God doesn't allow it. Okay, so this is called, that's going to be that. Let me see this one, muscular anatomy. So what happens? All gonna die, correct? Yeah, that would be good. Go back to teaching some more classes. So what happens? All gonna die, correct? Like just flow it into something that's an hour and a half long, and then all of a sudden, just out of nowhere. Okay, so then what happens? All gonna die, correct? Let Latissimus Dorsey, maybe? It must be that, which is like a huge patch there. That must be what that is. Latissimus Dorsey. That's how you get the V thing that all females should have, right? Just massive upper body and a V, like you're a complete dude. Anyways, I think females do that sort of like it's a competition, and because it's just, I don't know, like they want to get rid of all their body fat or something, or they have a physique like I was talking about, where they're wicked big on top. They carry all their body weight up top. And so it's like a way of recompositioning and stuff, their whole physique. Otherwise, why are we trying to get V's and huge shoulders? Latissimus Dorsey. Comes the burn again. Yeah, Latissimus Dorsey. There you go. Just start calling him Mr. Dorsey. Right. This is your new, right, because it's close to Dovin's. And then see if he notices. The only thing is in writing, right? If you're on the phone with him, if he calls you for something, Mr. Dorsey, Dobbins. Where did I get Dorsey from? All right, let's see. It's easy, Miss Dorsey. There you go. It's easy, Miss Dorsey. This is what me and what's her name? Jane Austen. This is what me and Jane Austen did on Twitter. Right. What was it? D.W. Wickham. She came up with Wickham from the book that she read, her book. So, right. D.W. means dickwad. Anyways. Okay, so I think it's that. Let's see what the function is. Once you know they figure out the function, and that's how they like overexert it to build it up beyond the natural methods, or the natural sort of like physique. I just prefer to sort of have a natural physique, I guess. Latissimus dorsi muscle. The lats, okay? It belongs to the superficial layer of the intrinsic back muscles. There you go. It's able to pull the inferior angle of the scapula in various directions, producing movements of the shoulder joint, internal rotation, abduction, extension of the arm. Mm-hmm. It's an accessory respiratory muscle. Stabilizes the spine. Oh, okay, there's a video. Maybe it will tell us what it does. Okay, so this guy they show, right, it's got to be that. But his is obviously like, Andy's flexing, but his is obviously all built up. I don't want to look like that because I'm not a man. I'm not a bodybuilder. I think part of what I do, if I was allowed to do what I do, is I explain to people like that in the natural ecosystem, nobody is fat. Right. It's just, I'm not saying you wouldn't have bodybuilders like that are models, especially for anatomy class and stuff. There's a place for that, people that like to deal with the vascularity and all of that. As long as you're not ill, making yourself sick with it. Right. There's a place for that, but that serves a purpose and it's cool. But in terms of natural movements that you would do without all this machinery, okay, and in some respects, it's like counsel for people that have been abused by the mass media. It's not that everybody has stretch marks and cellulite, by the way, and that it's okay to just be fat. It's that some of the stuff they tell people that everyone gets plastic surgery, everyone has a humongous behind, the big lips, dudes. Every dude is supposed to be like this. Okay, it's like stop speaking for us. Stop speaking for us because me personally, as a straight female, just for an FYI, if dudes are ever doing it for that reason, I don't really like all of that for a husband. Yeah, like sport, like joking around competition as a female that doesn't even have the physique to build up muscles like that. Right. Friends, sure. Like, what's his name? Vincent from V Shred would just be like a platonic friend of mine, not someone I'd go out with. Right. So, dudes, other dudes, like, if they could stop all of them trying to be like Arnold Schwarzenegger, okay, because that's not really like all females don't like that. It's like, I can't speak for all females. I'm just speaking for myself, and clearly I'm sort of like a type of female, so it might be like that. If you like a woman that's sort of like a model, right? I don't like all that, right? Just it is not too mean, but it's way too primate like. It's way too like silverback gorilla. I just don't like it, and it has something to do with a man's natural physique. He's more sort of short and heavy, in my opinion. The ones that do that, because they're not using steroids and stuff too, so it's not right. Like I like dudes that are tall and thin. I don't like all that because that's sort of like equality to me. It just has to do with the dynamic, just what they even look like. I couldn't imagine just walking down the street with just some lumberjack looking dude. That's just not, no. But I don't like short guys either. I don't want like little tiny jockeys like Jonathan. That's somebody else likes that. Right? It's just if people could stop trying to transform into something they're not, right? Just um, if they're doing it for just another reason that's not trying to attract sexual partners, then fine. But if you're doing that trying to attract sexual partners, if you could stop doing it, because it's almighty. So he created you in a certain way that's going to attract people that you are attracted to. You're like mixing it all up, right? All the females too. You have these females that will not stop trying to brainwash young women, and I'm sure you just have dudes going, another one with the scarf, makeup, and the huge lips and the fake eyelashes and the hair, and they're all gonna look like a computerized. I know you just go another one with the trying to get the huge bum and the huge quads. Like, what is going on? You do. You get angry to an extent. You go, will you stop telling females to do that? I don't even think it's funny because some of them are probably doing it to try to sabotage other females. I know, you just go, look, if you people could stop it. Anyways, right, Kid Rock told you people. Right, Kid Rock told you people. Because I'm sure he's one of them. Right, if he could talk regular, if you were doing that shit to his wife, it's like pretty much said that. But he was trying to be, he's like a politician, maybe was still trying. He didn't want everybody to like him because he's a musician. Right, he thrives on that for his own self-esteem. He wants everybody to like him. So it's like, could you please stop telling women that they have to weigh 300 pounds? He pretty much said that. He goes, I just like skinny chicks with big tits. Like, he just doesn't understand what you people are talking about other than your like whacked out cats. And yeah, like you're trying to do a psych op on models. If you could stop doing that, right? That's obviously a person with a penis telling you that. Okay, so anyways, let's see. Let me get rid of that. Did it go to this? Okay, yeah. Learning anatomy, something. Okay, so you're done. You're not going to even explain to me the motions that. Okay, great, thank you. Let's see if someone else can. Because usually they give you a little thing. I don't even want this. Okay, like I don't even want someone in a gym explaining to me how to get a huge. Maybe this one will. Like I want straight out anatomy class where it's just explained what that muscle does. Okay, right? Just I don't want to know a special exercise. Okay. And what's going to happen? All going to die, correct? Okay, so this was the issue, right? The traps, that big, huge, yeah. Probably because I have horrible posture. You never know if I refuse to stop wearing those sneakers long enough if it was actually affecting my upper back, though. I think it's because I won't stop using a backpack. I had it before, and I think that's when I stopped using a backpack. That I started doing bags, and it went away because it maybe it forces you to do this too more. I paused it for a second because they still haven't told. I just want to see what it does. Okay. That's a good nickname, Latissimus Dorsey. Lottie. Yeah, like Lottie. Yeah, Lottie. We don't need to hear about what happened with the flight attendant later, Mr. Lottie. Okay? We're on to you. We are on to you. You need some help with your sobriety and acceptance about you don't even want to go out with anybody. Okay? Simmer down. We're not used to that with someone of your age acting like that. That's usually young dudes. Oh, it could be this. The nerves. Okay, he's finally going to tell us what this muscle does. Okay, here we go. Okay. That's called abduction. Okay. Is that what they're doing? Do they use these things? Or they pull it this way or something? And this, apparently. Are they doing something like this with it? Are they lifting weights like this? I would think that puts a lot of strain on your back doing that, yeah. Okay. Thanks. All right, let's see. What is this up? Well, this is the other thing too that they might have been trying to do is they do that like they're like trying. It's like a weird trying to force me to pay attention to them by talking about Mar-a-Lago, and then they just stop trying to teach, do other stuff. It's just some weird thing that God has them do. And I'm not necessarily talking about John. I'm just talking about if that was all over the news. That's what they do. It's just become like wicked sickening, and I'm just waiting for them to die. Like it's just it doesn't have any meaning, but it's clearly just a bunch of mentally insane, gross people. Like these people that change the maid of the mist to another name and stuff. They're profusely insane. So it's just waiting for them to die. There isn't a meaning to it. Okay. Like they're trying to get off on thinking that they've tricked me into doing something. Like, okay, like people are gonna believe that they're gonna free me, and then they're gonna just do weird stuff, and they just keep trying to get off on that, and I'm just waiting for them to die. Right. So, anyways, I'm not. Like, I'm not necessarily including John or his crew into that. It's just they've been doing it for years and years and years. It's completely played out. Like, it's just people started talking about. Okay, that was 2 months ago. You probably didn't know that this is gaslighting. There's no such thing as gaslighting. I guess it's only 10 minutes long, but if the person believes in gaslighting, they're mentally ill. No such thing as gaslighting. Okay. Like the stuff that John was talking about, I don't really call it, that's not gaslighting. Okay. Like, there's gaslighting doesn't exist. It's like, this is my take on people that believe in gaslighting. Okay. It's people that are having issues with their brain. Okay, because I've witnessed it, a person who straight up believes that people gaslight her and stuff. Okay, because she has cognitive problems. She has a disease in the brain, and so she's doing things and forgetting, and then she accuses other people of doing it because she forgot that she did it. Okay, those are people that believe in gaslighting. It's like people that do not have a diagnosis yet of cognitive decline, and so they keep making up that people are like. Um, she said that someone took a SIM card and put it in her phone, stuff like that. Like someone changed the lock on her bag. Right, it's just right because they get to the point of some of them are already paranoid anyway, and so they set up weird things, and then they forget that they set it up, and then they accuse people of doing things they didn't do. Like the clock. Like, say that I actually took the clock and put it in a drawer, and then I started going, she came up here and took that clock. She's trying to gaslight me. Okay, it's like that. It's the opposite of a person who actually is deranged and took a clock, and then because I didn't react to it, notice it, goes, you want that clock back. All right. They think people are doing that when they're not. And she's not doing it to gaslight me. Okay. That's not why she's doing it. She's like a terrorist, right? She's a psychopath. And so she's doing it. And then, because she went into the room while I wasn't there, while I took a walk, and she wanted to make sure that I knew that she did it. Because she's a psychopath. That's not gaslighting. That's not even her intent. She becomes upset if I don't even notice that thing's gone. That's not a person trying to gaslight you. Right, she would take it off and wait for me to ask where it is, and then act like she doesn't know, or right, you took it off and handed it to me, stuff like that. I don't even believe people do that. No. When you grow up with someone like that that's psychopathically deranged, it can make you really prone to paranoid thinking, so you have to kind of, right, I didn't even know the thing was gone. Because it was like the room that was hers, and it was all her stuff in the room. I don't even notice. Because Candy's told me before that stuff she was doing to Candy. She goes, she's going in my room while I'm at work, and then she leaves something on the dresser so that I know she was in there. She did it to me once. This is how God got her to give me like $5. She did it to me once and left a $5 bill in there. Not wait till I come home and hand me $5. That's an excuse to enter a room and go sort through it. But she doesn't even want to just do that in some sort of compulsion. She wants you to know she did it, like she's terrorizing. Right. So, anyways, I don't know if John's ever had an issue with cruising, and right, and he just sort of like someone's trying to fuck with him. Um, it's not a form of therapy. Okay, it's not a form of therapy. You have people that are completely deranged out of their minds because they're psychopaths, and it's part of being a Nazi where I don't even know if they believe that they're therapists. Okay, right, but yeah, and then they would be like, "Oh, touchy," and we must have hit a trigger and stuff because they're psychopathically deranged. You have to have friends like me. You don't have to be friends with me, John, but you have to have friends like me that are not caught up in all of that. And you have to accept it when I go, dude, they're psychopaths. They're in a psychopathic death spiral. They do all sorts of whacked out stuff. It's like, I do it too, where you constantly just go, why are they doing this? How can anyone be that sick? And it's just, they are that sick and God's killing them and they know it. Okay, so it's just, they do, it's like Linda Blair and The Exorcist. They're turning their heads around, they're vomiting pea soup, um, all of it. They're shutting off SNAP cards. They're shutting off bottle returns. They're raising food prices. They think that they're fishing by bringing up Mar-a-Lago again, when that's not what it is. Right? They're going to run around talking about my son, and they think they're doing that as a psychopathic action. God's just explaining to you that you're clearly fucking damned. It's a Virgin Mary, 2 5 star. So what happens? Okay, all gonna die. Okay, Passover. Okay, all gonna die. You are correct, sir. Oh, well, what happens? I think if I didn't explain this already, I'm gonna get my glass ready to move on to my soda. If I turn that thing, it might not turn back, and then I'm trapped in here. The mechanism that goes like that, so the door, I have to just pull on it. I know that one's next because I can tell that it's having a difficulty every time I turn it. So I wouldn't be concerned about any security deposit. Just consider that you're paying these people. What is it, $2,500? Just consider that these people are stealing another $2,500 at the end of the lease. For real, just it's not terrible, but right. I mean, clearly, turning a knob on a door for 4 months doesn't break a door. That's a defect in the door itself. Oh yeah, let me do this. And then what is it I was gonna? Okay, this is something you probably didn't know was gaslighting. It's called. Let me get some soda. this thing with the soap is like a win-win for her in either case, right? Like either I go the typical thing and go, I will get my own soap, okay, and she keeps all that soap, okay, or I take the soap, which I did, and then she gets to pretend to him that I'm somehow taking something from her. Right. No, I'll take the soap, thank you. Since I've already bought toilet paper and cleaning products. Okay. Never mind the pounds of mayonnaise, sour cream, and light cream. For real. That's not even, how is that even an exchange of things? Which I don't believe in either. She even said this when I gave her those turnovers. She goes, Tommy's not getting any of those. Okay, that's between you and him. Whatever. I gotta make a decision if I'm going out or not, because that's gonna depend on what I wear. Let's see soda first and see if my sauce thing goes away. If you're not sober, you need to take a walk every day if you're physically able to. It doesn't have to be 9 miles like I do, but it was supposed to be what, 0.8 miles. You go and you get your 2 sodas. Remember all that? It's not rocket science. Most of it, honestly, it's either most or all of it's just a self denial. It's just a bunch of made up bullshit where you didn't actually want to get sober yet. Right? It's really that you just go, I'm done doing this. And then you don't do it. Right? It's sort of like when you're done eating pizza, you don't go into a pizza joint. You don't go to a pizza joint, you don't buy dough and cheese and sauce and right. It's just it really is that simple. When you're done with whores, you stop going to the whores. Exactly. Exactly. Okay, so let me see watch a mentally ill person who believes in gaslighting and probably the upcoming election. All right, so you're never going to get rid of your quote unquote paranoia if you don't stop using. So you're making up another definition for gaslighting? It's denying somebody else's reality? Okay. 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 Is everybody's reality reality? Is everybody's personal reality reality? Right. Brain disease? Okay. There's only one reality, man. Okay. So other people's reality has meaning? Okay. People have a personal reality now? Okay, that's part of Nazi idealism. Right. That's unfortunately what human beings are existing in right now as we wait for these poor, unfortunate things to die. It's that simple. Okay, so anyways, so now gaslighting is not people that are trying to make other people think they're losing their mind when they're not. Okay, because clearly that's a person losing their mind, not someone's doing it to them. Okay, so now gaslighting is not acknowledging another person's reality. Okay. Is this to fish for mentally ill people? Okay, it could be that. So that they're more open to discussing this when they talk to people out in public. Okay. Which again, that's not a trick, uh, right? That for paranoid people, that's not a trick. It's just not everyone is me. Okay, so and when you go to a therapist, you're in theory seeking out actual help. Okay, so if you're not honest about everything that's going on with you, which again, if you're paranoid, you're going to a therapist and you're not telling the therapist everything that's going on with you, they're not mind readers. Okay. And if they're not a prophet of Allah, it's not even like they're getting what God is explaining about you. That's why certain people don't want that. They want to shut me off. Okay. For real, just okay. So some of that goes on. Like it's not a trick to trick you. People don't get locked up in sane asylums and stuff anymore. We don't even have that, unfortunately. People can't get into them, even when they're trying. Okay. So there's not a reason to hide any of your thoughts and ideas and experiences. Okay. Sometimes it's a suggestion to you that this is a thing that some people think. Okay. It's like most neuroses are not individual to you. And that some people are locked into something and it causes them to be extremely isolated and afraid to seek out help because everything is sort of you're interpreting that into your mother's disappointment and people in the mental health field are not your mother. Okay. Right. It's quite common for transference when you go to therapy. So anyways, okay. She might be. That's why I mean she might be fishing for people. It like again, it's not a trick. Okay, like you don't get tricked into being sectioned to a hospital. Like I explained, there's people they won't even take you there when you call. Okay, don't ever think that. I've done it a couple of times. They won't even let me in anymore. Uh, it's not that they would have to know who I am. They just know that I'm not qualifying for admission to a psych ward. Yeah, because when the week that I spent there, I was drawing Medela rod and stuff, and right, it's just not. That's not taking up space in the psych ward. Because I saw other people that are there, right? Anyways, they probably, if that was Warren, they didn't let Warren stay. Pretty sure it was Warren and Michael. They didn't let them stay either. It was some gay guy that was there to get back his medication. So Warren, if that's not you, then that's why I would go. You're not the guy from Bournewood Hospital? Okay. Yes, there's only one gay guy slicing his wrist looking for medication with that hair couple in the entire state. Sorry, my bad. Yeah, especially if you're stuck in a narcissistic relationship. This is the thing, though. I think eventually you really need to be in a therapist office. Um, I haven't watched the whole thing. She probably does at the end because it says this is not a substitute for actual therapy, right? Eventually, you guys got to end up in a therapist office. Okay, because a lot of you are probably just watching this stuff and you believe it's validating all of your thoughts. And it's to try to get you to go to a therapist and admit what's going on with you. And it's not a trick because you wouldn't even be watching this stuff if you weren't having problems. You wouldn't be. You wouldn't be seeking out online therapists and stuff if you weren't having issues. You can't receive psychotherapy in that manner. Okay, like you're not even doing like John agreed to do. And maybe he'll keep doing it. Okay, because this, like the psychiatrist, is not gonna um, get mad because he's doing that thing he does. Right? You just go. I'm gonna kind of take this as you're establishing that you don't want to go out with me. Okay. So if you're gonna keep live streaming, then clearly I can, you know, tell you what I think is going on, like when you're getting triggered and stuff. I hate that word, but um, right, like people aren't even doing that. Okay. That's why they have account psychologists and stuff, therapists, psychologists. Um, right, you can't just, you can, but it's not going to help you to just decide that the entire world is crazy. And so, but yet the people online are not. And that's how you're going to get all your, you're just going to go looking for videos that you believe reinforce your thought processes. Right? Like these people with the, if you're in a relationship like that with a narcissist, you have issues. Unless you're being forced into it because you have no income. Okay? It's you. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what is wrong with the narcissist. If you're there by choice, it's you. Just, and then I was manipulated to stay. It's you. It's you. But just you really need to be in a therapist office because you're just looking for validation and then you're not even doing any self-improvement. Like you're not capable of you're misunderstanding mental illness. You're not capable of like self-treating. Even with these YouTube videos and stuff, you're not capable of it. Okay. So sorry, go ahead. or goes, nice hair. Good Lord. I know 4 minutes in, I gotta pause. It's just. Yeah, de-evaluating and whatever she just said. Just break up and move away. Move away. They're always de-evaluating me and just stop hanging around with them. It's you. It's you. You're hanging around with the person as some excuse for your own neuroses, obviously. She has advertisements in her videos too. Jesus Christ. Just the insanity of it all. Don't even let John near this. Just, what? What are you talking about? To get supplies? What is this? What are you implying? That's what she said. The narcissistic personality does stuff just to get supplies. The car ride home. That's right. That's true. I don't know that. Have we ever seen him laughing, like on a live stream? I know. We don't know that. He might have a difficulty with. Well, so far he doesn't really seem to find any of his commenters funny. Because I can't recall him just laughing while he's doing any of this. He's always like. Sometimes people get depressed, right? And then they have to go to cognitive behavioral therapy, and drinking and drug use definitely doesn't help. When you're depressed, it makes it worse. Especially someone of his background, his profile, that would make depression extremely worse. Right, so it's important for him to take steps so that he's not doing things that affect his own self-esteem, his own, like what he wants in his life. That's why it's like, why were you doing this? Is that all that was available to you to work? Or that's really sort of like, you are whatever you want to be, right? It's if you decided that you wanted to be like, you're like a Boy Scout leader and you're counseling youth and stuff, then that's what you be that. But you're not going to be that while you're drinking and drugging and hanging out with these trucker people. Right? That's just not compatible. I've seen that. She had a boyfriend that clearly, that's, I mean, his entire life, right? Just, I'm sure that's why he couldn't stop drinking. His life just went like this. That's a person in a descent, an alcoholic descent, and you're just not going to stop drinking. I think he was like 27 years old or something. She was like 40, early 40s. She picked him up at a fucking campground. Like, apparently he had been a firefighter. He was in some wicked bad car accident and broke his neck and stuff. I think he lost his daughter, probably because he's a pedophile. He had a daughter he couldn't even have contact with when she met him. He had like a 3-year-old or something. And just, oh yeah, I mean, some old woman, and now you're a pedophile and you're trying to diddle her kids and stuff. It's just, and you thought just the entire way he acted. Just he thought he was some sort. It was like just like John, like he's an EMT and he's a former fight and he's everybody's helper and stuff. Oh yeah, just right into the grave. Right, so John has to make a decision if he's actually going to be doing that like he does in Colorado, or he's going to be just, now I'm on a Veep and I'm drinking at a casino and I'm trying to actually, like, I don't know if those people are swingers or whatever the hell that is. I know you just go, I don't understand. I don't want to be mean. I don't even mean it like that, but it's like, you're an outdoorsy Marine and stuff, and come on, John, give it a break. Like, these people clearly are not outdoorsy people. They're completely out of shape. I mean, right? Just, what is this? What are you doing? Like, you might have started out the People's Convoy, blah blah blah. The People's Convoy are people that are sober, that are just pissed in their fucking car, just that People's Convoy. Okay, so let's see what you said. See, this is part of what she just said now, just before 7 minutes in. It's exactly what I'm talking about in terms of acceptance. Like, people like John, that it's just, you're never going to be able to have an intimate relationship with someone because whatever was going on with you in your upbringing, and then you refuse to get psychotherapy. And then a lot of you just burn your brains out with drugs and it's way too late, and you refuse to stop engaging in a toxic, dysfunctional dynamic where you're still trying to blame all your problems on another person. Just far into, I mean, not just adulthood, but past middle age. Okay? That's how you end up down at that shelter with just half a brain, still just trying to get high. Right? It's just, eventually, right, adults. I mean, I wasn't even adults. I was a teenager going to dead and family services and self-admitting me to hospitals and stuff. It's just, right. Just, I've met adults still doing it. It's when you're like, you're 40 years old and you're still talking about your mom, and you're not forced to live with her and you're still doing that. Okay. entering into relationships just to have another person that's the cause of all your problems. Very sad. But she's explaining like because they cannot disassociate their caregiver from another person, they can't be intimate with anyone because they become disgusted with it, right? Like they just become disgusted with any level of caring for anyone, and then yeah, I mean, hopefully God gives them rest soon. All of these people, uh, right? It's just that's a terrible thing. Like I said, when you're doing this whacked out stuff against me, you might as well just put up a neon sign. You wackos with the change the name of Made in the Mist or something. I don't know if that's a way to try to get my attention. I don't care anything about you. Whoever you people are, that clearly like 90, uh, God will allow you people to just die. You're so deranged. It's just peace be upon you. Right? I'm sure the hope was to get my attention when I didn't even know about it. It had to be pointed out to me, and then you just go, I can't help you people with anything. It's amazing that someone like 80, 90 something years old, your entire life, that's how you've conducted your entire life, probably. Um, Amassing real estate, foreclosing people's homes, trying to call people into court just to get someone's attention. Like you can't have any types of interpersonal relationships with anyone other than these whacked out psychopathic actions. So peace be upon you, for real. They're probably so deranged that they believe that that's the normal behaviorism. If they can upset me, right? They clearly had completely deranged mothers, right? And I don't know what they had for wives, if they had wives. That's really fucking deranged. Yeah, all you can do is go peace be upon you. Um, right, just for real. You don't have to worry about judgments and all of that. There's not like a hell place you go to. You're either just going to sleep and not wake up, or you're going to go to some of the species that suit your psyche. I really don't feel bad for them anymore. Right. She might feel like that too, and it's sort of something to do where when you're used to being a psychologist, she may not even be able to, I lost you again, she may not even be able to do individual counseling anymore because she's so disgusted. That's possible, and that's why she's doing this. Right, because it's sort of like she might only be able to do it a video at a time, and then she begins to get disgusted too because just the whole concept of psychotherapy is different now. When you see you were big, God was giving us something to do where we were providing counsel to a binder. Yeah, like he gave us something to do for sure. Where that's what we did for all this time. We're psychoanalyzing a binder. Just those people would never go to psychotherapy. The people that did that stuff, the media and stuff, they would never. These people at the news media and these people down there and the people at DTA and Social Security, they would never go to a psychotherapist. Right? It's just um, because I don't know. You might get human beings in psychotherapy, but this stuff that she's talking about is probably not even needed. It is just kind of like at this point you're aware that you're only God's giving us something to do. It's just your entire species is in an extinction. So what happens? All gonna die. No, I'm not having ice cream with anyone. Are you calling me a Nancy? I would get mad at that too. I would get mad at that too. Like it seems like a person being perverted and gross on purpose to upset him. If he asked me, right? Just the whole concept about ice cream and just all the jokes and stuff that have been said over the course of 12 years, and like calling someone a Nancy is kind of a well-known insult. And it's sort of like, are you going to go out with this person because somebody shot you down or something? Like the whole entire thing. Like if any time he's talking about anything personal or serious to him, and then they keep hitting on him, that's abuse. Right? Those are people that are because he's attractive and he's popular. They don't like it, so they're going to talk to him like he's Farrah Fawcett or something. That's common. I'm sure that stuff goes on with men too. Women are sort of used to it, and you just go, okay, so you're doing that. Or he seems like he, for the most part, ignores it too, but he's not unaware that they're doing it. And it probably depends on his mood. It depends on his mood and if he has met the people or not. Like if he recognizes the moniker and he actually met the person, so he doesn't get as mad anymore. Right. And it probably just depends on his mood that day. But sometimes I'm sure it seemed to me that he's just sort of like, can I talk on any of these things where you people are not like talking about sex and stuff? And it is because he probably feels like he gets into a mood and he does it, but he doesn't feel that means every time he talks that that's all you're going to do. It makes sense to me. Right. You just go, right, because some people like are really whacked out. Like they'd go, "Oh, I see. So now it's not okay for us to compliment you." Okay, look, why don't you just find another place to chat? That's not. It doesn't. There's never any time. Like this is what I would say, John. There's never any time that I have to sort out like even that with you. Like who are you? You're not anyone to me. Like it's just no. I don't even do it in my life. I absolutely refuse to do it's not clicking like this. Right. Just none of us are shackled. For real. You got that straight. Even though she's the one who continuously approaches me for talking. I'm agreeing with that now. Just none of us are shackled. I wouldn't even have been with you that far and if your son didn't see blue boom. Okay? In all full honesty, none of us are shackled. It's just I have in it. An adult sober person is not interested in working out our differences, and it's just clearly there's a whole population of them now. This whole entire thing where you're forced into it. The fights are made up, and then you're going to sort out. No, your entire species is in an extinction. I don't have to sort out anything with you. I don't have to acknowledge you. I don't have to be aware of your place in the pecking order of God's kingdom where everybody has worth. And I don't have to know anything about you. I'm not even of your species. Please. It's called social distancing. Some people might go, I'm not really, I believe in free speech. But honestly, if you know you're not a human being, maybe just not even partake in my live streams. Okay, like it's just, or do it like this. Well, I don't even know. I maybe it's done purposely, probably not. But I don't even. He tends to live stream when I'm sleeping or something, or I'm doing something else because I don't even have an opportunity to go into his chats. Right. So it's like you just do it like this, and then he would have to seek me out somehow without even me indicating I'm watching it. Like just because he would do that if he was interested in what I thought about one of his videos. who would do that. As like a psychiatrist, you just go, all right, so I posted something, see what she says. Bloop. Right, not I keep continuously going in there trying to get his attention. You subscribe to something once, unsubscribe, subscribe again, do like once or twice. Clearly, he goes in there and looks at all of them. I don't even see, I don't know if I've ever done it. I don't know if I've done that on one of his where you just go, oh, hello, like I did on the 9/11 one last night, just, oh, hello, or something. And that's it. Just so, like, that's sort of a just so you know, I'm watching this. Right. So if you had any, if you wanted to know anything I thought about it, clearly, I don't even say that. It's just, I mean, come on, really? 2 5-star, like a psychiatrist, the Virgin Mary. So it's sort of like, I'll let you guys stay in your delusion where you just keep pretending I don't even exist. But just as an FYI, if you're interested in what I think of what you're doing, there it is. I mean, hours and hours and hours and hours and hours upon it. Okay. Not re-education, not history lessons, not you teach me, uh, especially when it's not something I asked about. Like the many times I've said, is this a word? Is that they refuse to acknowledge any of that in just a complete childlike denial. Okay, so, anyways, I don't really think it's even they want me to think that that's not true or it's wrong or that's not God. I think they don't want to believe that it's God. Right? I think they want to believe that it's not. That's why they won't acknowledge anything, but yet they obviously still keep looking at it. I mean, come on. All right, so sorry, go. She's the one that I got into it with about the splitting because I wasn't sure what she was talking about. I think it also causes them to have extreme paranoid thinking. And they're extremely paranoid to other people. And they definitely need some sort of psychotherapy, which she's just saying they're 8 minutes in about. To me, she's describing a child where by adulthood, why are you not in psychotherapy? Why are you still around your abuser? Like, it's just like that. Right. People get it. People get it. People get it. Your mommy's fucked up. People get it. Okay, so right, that requires psychotherapy, right? Okay, not you just keep saying your mother's fucked up. You can, but you're gonna be a really unhappy person. Maybe. Oh, there we go. It's why people start to believe that everyone acts when everyone doesn't act. All right, like everyone is not your abusive caretaker that has a phone voice and acts different and then is abusive towards you and all that crap. Not everyone does that. Right? It's just it becomes automatic that the person doesn't even know what they're doing or why they're doing it. Right. That's why I don't really do this like 10-year psychotherapy. It's like, look, this is what you're doing. This is what I'm getting, is what you're doing. Right. That's why the live streams are good. Is if the other people have live streams, I guess I can start watching other people's live streams besides John, as long as it's like they don't have to acknowledge it's this, but as long as everyone understands that's what it is. And it's not really it's not a debate, right? It's like I said, it's kind of like when I go to Quincy, where I will listen for a certain amount of time and observe, like I did with Captain Corbett. And then after that, it's just me talking. Right? It's not, I'm not a therapist. Okay. Even if you're not familiar with actual psychiatrists, psychiatrists really don't give weekly therapy. That's not what psychiatrists do. Okay. It's just, right, if you've ever been admitted to a hospital, you talk to psychiatric nurses. Okay. Which kudos to them, because that's just a different personality type. And then they report stuff to the psychiatrist. Okay. And then the psychiatrist goes, okay, this is right. So I'm sure you don't even know me. Okay, I don't, but you've been here a week and there's cameras in here, and you don't want to say this because then they won't talk to you anymore. But we have psychiatric nurses that you observed you and you talk to you for a week. So in a sense, they do know you. Okay, so the live streams are good because it's like they're not even in that context of everything they say is to get themselves out of the place that they probably demanded to be in. All right, so what do I say to get out of here? It's not really about that. It's just for a diagnosis. Like, I think a couple of weeks is better than a week, but a week is better than an hour. So when I go out there, it's like sometimes a couple of months at a time. And I feel like because it's God, he sort of forces them to just unload on me. So it's probably like more information than they typically would give someone in that amount of time. Like, in a sense, I'm kind of spent on it. Like it was just kind of something for me to do. Yeah, in the grand sort of distraction delusion where you're not going to have a civil war other than this driving white car, black car stuff and your nuclear material and all of that. And you're just shutting off snap cards and denying people housing and giving other people 4 houses and stuff like that. That's your war that you're getting here. Okay? For your extinction. So what happens? All going to die, correct? I want to do that stuff. How come I can't go to Denver? I want to go to Denver. Have a whiteboard. Here we go. Okay, so, and then, and I don't know. That's not real. They don't want to hear about biblical scripture. And the river flows there, and then what happens? All going to die, correct? I don't know. If I could go back in time, maybe. I'd have to work though. I'm not supposed to. I'd be in like one of those alien shops with like the awesome leggings and stuff. Yeah. That would have been cool. I didn't even go in because you have to pay for everything. I looked at through the windows of the alien museum and stuff. Aliens. I'm sure many of people have probably driven out there. They're going to have their own alien shop, and then you realize like there's not really that many tourists. It's like they do that thing once a year, or they did. It's not well advertised because I never heard about it before. If it was more advertised, more people would probably go. You could probably make so much money that you could live the whole year on that one event if it's like a week long event. Anyways, and then what happens? All gonna die, correct? Okay. It's almost time for me to get dressed since it's 1 o'clock. Let me just wrap up with. Oh yeah, I have to do that too. She's almost done. Right, she's more understanding. I don't want to belittle because she's a psychologist. She has a doctorate. I don't want to belittle her, but she's like seems more like a psychiatric nurse. I just could never do it. It's not like she's lying either. It's just I can't. Nah, I don't have the note. Especially after this much time, it's just. It's what? Okay, we're not using logic. Right, blah 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 blah. Clearly, right. It's just. Anyways, I gotta wrap this up so I can get dressed and make up a schedule. I'm ready to go back to bed. Tired. I already mentioned that. Okay, good. Yeah, just the constant placing of pressures and stressors that don't have any meaning. Well, especially when you're starting to get tired, I could see them doing that, like starting to do that even more. I don't. I know I sort of don't, but it's like a natural biological sense. Because in nature, yeah, I mean, clearly. I'm kind of trying to do it like that. Like the natural way where it's like, I'm kind of like too tired now to even food gather, so don't worry about what I'm doing. Don't wake me up. Yeah, like I don't pay the rent, so don't worry about making sure I eat that day or something. Yeah, for real. Just that's called the natural process. Well, I don't want to be mean, but I don't pay the rent, so you don't really have to. No, there's not a reason to keep me alive, especially knowing what's going to happen to me when other people aren't around. There's not a reason to try to extend my life this time. You don't want to be like this outside even. Clearly, I need a charger. I mean, could you imagine like what happened with Dawn? Just there would be dudes trying to rape me as I'm half dead and I'm too weak to do anything. Right, just this might be the last time that you say you want a renewal on a Snapchat. And then, like I said, you people are all gonna stop out there. Guaranteed. I did all I could do. I did all I could do to help you. You didn't listen. Every single time it's a lie. Anyways. There's not a reason to try to beckon me back out there. Okay? It's just you're completely mentally deranged. Animals in an exception. I can't care about that either. I wanted him to pass me on 5 years ago, so that all of these strange people could see that that doesn't cure their sins, and that they're all gonna fucking die. But they had to get brain sick enough to not be a danger to people. That's when the true mayhem starts, believe me. Because if that's your doctrine, right, and then you go, I think they're more in like even a worse doctrine. They're more sort of like a straight out animal where they'll pretend they're me after I'm gone. So I would expect that. Just be prepared for that. Like sort of like the book says, like now they're the savior of everybody somehow, and it will be completely demented. Like you just wait for them to drop off, as opposed to like the Christian doctrine where their sins are cured after I die, right? And then they have a reunification. Uh, I think it's more they're going to actually try to act like me and behave like me, and then right, it's just wait for them to drop off. Don't worry about it. It's not anything to worry about. That's probably what God is telling her because she keeps talking like that. Oh yeah, I didn't figure out what I was going to do. I guess if I'm staying in. And then we'll at least pretend that I'm going to. Oh yeah, just all of it, like we're in God's hands, blah blah blah, like okay. Uh, I don't know, I don't know if she wants to scream at me to get out or something, because she'll be like, there's not a reason you have to go back there, or you have to. Right? It's like hopefully God is saying that to all of them. Right? It's just you guys are wickedly sick, and you don't need to keep trying to force that woman out there like she's on a mission. You literally just tried to murder her. So, right, like you're not providing any type of quote unquote help to her or housing. Okay, like just this insanity with the fucking snap god. Uh, just leave the woman alone. Like they can see my medical record. You go, just leave this fucking woman alone. Like nobody's gonna do anything. It's just move on to some other delusion to die in. It's played out. It's played out. All your fun and games and stuff, all that stuff is played out. You gotta just move on to somebody. The maid of the mess, like that tells me that these people are just so grossly demented. They think they're engaged in some sort of competition with me, and I don't even know what they're doing or who they are. It's like I told you, like a little dispersed animal that you just go, ooh, like because yeah, God explained that to me that He was doing that with them, like that they'll do stuff that they think is an action. I don't even know they're fucking doing it. It's like a container. I know. I don't know if he was just like whatever he was doing in Denver or something, maybe. And then he just went on like a tour. Apparently, he was in Canada, right? And then he was in Niagara Falls. He was in New York. He was in Washington D.C. Did he go to Virginia too? So he's probably just like because nothing on the news and stuff is real, and then all this bullshit with the internet blocking and stuff. You just go, oh yeah, didn't he go to some other place like Michigan or something, and it was like on a lockdown and stuff, and you just go, it will once it, this is good. I don't personally think 2 weeks is long enough, but it's better than no weeks where he's completely away from all of that. And of course they'll be on the chats, they'll probably be calling him and emailing him. You gotta like deprocess what you just because it's been going on since January, right? So that's 8.5 months. That's a long time. I don't think I've ever done 8.5 straight months of it. I think I figured out the longest I've ever done is like 6, 7 months because I just did 7 months, right? September, October, November, December, January, February, March, 7 months. That's probably the longest I've ever done. In 12 years, 7 months is probably the longest. I think before that it was like 4 or 5 months. And then, of course, this is not exactly ideal, but it's, and you just go, what, right? Uh, yeah, because he clearly can't speak freely when he's with the people, and if he has no income and he had no way to get home, right? Right, like yeah, my truck's in the shop, and I'll be flying right back here in 2 weeks. I'm thinking no. I mean, he might surprise me, but I'm thinking he's not going to do that. Right. Right. So, well, we'll see what he does for live streams, but because clearly I was like all on the internet after being out in Quincy each time, and it's like a debriefing where when you're in a hostage situation, obviously you're not going to be able to speak freely. All right, let me brush my teeth and stuff because it's like 1 o'clock in the afternoon.